my channel. Take a look at this beautiful dress. Now in this video I'm going to be showing you how to create or how to cut out a pattern to make a top similar to the top of this dress. Now to start off, I'm going to measure 1 inch at the front of the paper for the center front, so I can mark it for center front, which is CF. I'm going to make 1 inches down from the top of the paper all the way to the bottom. So now I'm making a line for 1 inch all the way down to the end of the paper. The top of the line and coming from the center front, we're going to measure down 6 inches. All right, so you place a mark right on 6 inches and we trace the line, a straight line from the center front right on 6 inch, and we form a line that will be the chest line. Starting at the top line, I'm going to go ahead and find 13 inches, which is right here, and I'm going to make a line from the center front, which is right here, to all the way to the side of the drafting paper. So I'm going to make a line right at 13 inches. Next up, I'm going to measure from 13 inches. I'm going to add 4.5 inches down, which will give me 17.5, which will be the waistline. Okay, so I'm going to make a straight line from the center front all the way to the side. That will be for the waistline. Alright, so we have the center front, the chest line, which is 6 inches from the top, and then the under bust, which is 13 inches, the waist, which is 17.5, and to find the bust length, which is 36. Now 36 divided by 4, that will be 9 inches. So I'm going to put a mark in here for 9 inches. That will be for the bust. Waist measurement, which is 28 inches. I'm going to divide that into 7, which will give us 7 inches. So now I'm going to take the tape measure and measure out from the center front right here to right here. That will be 7 inches. Right at 7 inches, right at the waistline, and to measure out, I'm going to put a mark in right at 4 inches. I'm going to use a pen and not a marker. I'm going to make a marking right at 4 inches, and I'm going to do the same thing for the up onto the bust line right here. And I'm going to connect the dot, measure out 4 inches right at on that bust. Okay, so taking a ruler, I'm going to connect the two dots. Now I have the straight line measured from the chest line all the way to the waistline using the 4 inches measurements, which can be achieved by dividing, which I achieved by dividing 8 into 2, which is 4. Right at the under bust, you want to measure 1.5 inch right at the under bust, 1.5 inch to this side. Okay, 1.5 inch on this side and 1 inch on this side. Okay, so starting with this side, I'm going to make 1.5 and place the marking right here, and I'm going to measure 1 inch at this on the front side. And for the waist part, I'm going to measure 1 inch on this side and 1 inch on this side. Okay, since I already have the 20F taken out here, I'm going to have to add it back for the sewing allowance here. So what I'm going to do now is to measure 2.5 inches on the side, so I can have, that way I have enough fabric to work with. So I'm going to make a measurement for 2.5 for sewing allowance. And on the bottom at the waistline, I have 2 inches taken out of the waistline, which I'm going to add back for the sewing allowance on the side. Okay, now I'm going to take it and put a marking for the 2 inches on the side. Now finding the middle point right at the bust area, which is 4 inches. I'm going to first put a marking for 4 inches here. All right, now I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to slightly make a curve right at the under bust line to connect. I'm simply going to make a slight curve right here, going in and upward to the point line, okay? And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to slightly make a curve to the under bust line right here, okay? You don't want it to be a straight line, so you want to use a curve, and you can use a curve ruler for this part, okay? All right, starting from here, you want to gently make a curve for the bust area right here. So gently curve out the front part. Now, depending on how, if you want like a deep line for the illusion piece for the front part. Now, if you want that illusion piece for the front of the dress, okay, what you can do, depending on how deep you want it, you can, starting from the waistline, okay, take your measuring tape and measure out for 0.5, and you can measure out 0.5 at the waistline and 1 inch at the bust, at the under bust part will be 1 inch, okay. You want to measure 1 inch for the under bust area, and you want to do 1.5 inch when it gets closer to the top line. And again, it depends on how revealing you want it to be, how open you want the front area to be. So again, at the waistline, 0.5, 1 inch at the under bust, and 1.5 as you get closer to the bust. Now you take your ruler and then you connect the lines, you connect the dots, okay? Once you have it all measured, you connect the lines together. All right, now this will be the illusion piece of, this will be the illusion piece of the pattern, okay? Illusion piece. You want to measure out 0.5 at the top of the bust curves to create like a gentle curve. You want to measure 0.5 to the right and 0.5 to the left. Make your marking. Again, you will always double check your work, okay? So 0.5 to the right, 0.5 to the left. And again, remember we have the 4 inches line here. You want to make take your markings all the way to connect to your dots, to your marking area right there, okay, in the middle of the line. So we have this space right here to create a nice little curve at the top of your bust line. All right, so starting from the top line, I'm going to measure the O for 7. I have 7.5. Okay, so for 7.5, I have the markings right here. Okay, and I'm going to trace out the line for the O. And now right at the O, you want it to be a curve. You don't want it to be straight, you want it to be curved. Okay, now the reason why I have the O right here, I'm going to connect my curve from the chest area. Again, I'm just going to make a nice curve line to meet with the O. Okay. All right. So once I cut it out, it should give me a nice curve. So next up, what I'm going to do now is to measure out what I have. So the bust line is 9 inches and we have the sewing allowance. Okay, so we're going to leave this right here and then cut out the patterns that is needed. So I'm going to leave it right here and cut out what's needed. Cutting this part, this piece out. Okay, this we don't need, and the other side we don't need, so I'm going to cut out everything else. Alright, this is the illusion part, this is the front, this is the side. Okay, alright, next up I'll be cutting out the strap that goes from the front to the back. To measure the strap, I'm working with 28 inches from the front. To measure the back, I'm working with 28 inches from the front to the back. Okay, so I have my paper on fold, which is 28 inches, so this is 14 inches. But because I need the sewing allowance, I'm going to make it 15, which is going to make it 30 in total. Okay, so now I'm going to make a marking right at 15 inches. All right, at 15 inches, I'm also going to make the strap width to be 4 inches. And I'm going to cut out 4 inches out and 30 inches in total for the strap lines. All right, now the front side is going to be for 2 inches, starting from the piece, and is going to be 4 inches on the other side, which is the back area. All right, so here's the front piece, and here is the strap that goes in from the bust line. And if you want to make the front the strap smaller at the front part, you can do that as well. All you need to do is